Hey, it's Tristan again from www.primaledgehealth.com, and I'm going to talk to you today about something that you're always going to see on the internet, on YouTube, and comment sections of videos, on internet forums, Facebook groups, whatever it is you're looking at that has to do with weight loss, fitness, building muscle, diet or exercise, whatever. You're going to see this phenomenon. And I'm going to do my best to very briefly, because my videos tend to go long when I go on rants, to briefly explain to you what I see as the real issue here and what I see as the cause of these complaints that you'll commonly see on the internet and these angsty comments that you'll witness on YouTube. So, first off, let me explain the phenomenon. Now, the phenomenon is frustration with progress. And this frustration with progress occurs due to A, lack of patience, and B, mostly lack of patience, but also just going about it in the wrong way and with the wrong mentality. There are many different ways to put on muscle. There's hundreds of different programs that one can start with to build some muscle. Thousands of different exercises that one can choose from, and so many different theories on what the best way is to put on lean muscle mass or burn body fat or do both at the same time. Now, whichever method it is that you choose to utilize, whether you're going to utilize a high carbohydrate bodybuilding style diet where you're weighing and measuring all your food, tracking your macros and your calories to a T, or whatever program you're using, if you're doing a 5x5 strength progression in the beginning, whatever it is, you gotta realize that it takes time to make long-lasting, permanent changes to your body composition. A lot of people, they get on the internet, they start looking at these fitness models, they look at these YouTube videos, and they think that within a year of training, or like 6 months of training, that they should look like these individuals they see on YouTube, on fitness magazines, whatever it is. So people have to realize, first of all, it takes years. It takes years to make visible changes to your body through resistance training. Yes, you'll make some newbie gains in the first year. Best case scenario, everything is on point. You're genetically gifted. You might gain like 15 pounds of muscle in the first year. Now that sounds like a lot to anybody who's been training for a significant amount of time. It sounds like a lot of muscle. That's just in the first year. And those newbie gains are not going to be that impressive visually, although in actual body composition you've made a lot of progress. After that, your gains will taper down. It can take you, you could, at me, I'd be lucky at this point to put on 5 pounds in a significant calorie surplus, training really hard in a year. Be lucky to put on 5 pounds. After each year of training, there's kind of a law of diminishing returns, where you can gain strength, you can make changes to how your body appears and how it looks, the quality of your muscle, but you're not likely to add significant muscle mass after the first couple years. It takes time and it takes patience. So these individuals that you see on the internet, you look at their physiques, their body, you think, oh wow, like that guy's so ripped, that guy looks big. First of all, it took them years to do it. Second of all, a lot of them are probably using a little help from anabolic androgenic steroids, exogenous hormones. Now, the phenomenon that I also want to talk about, and I intended to talk about in the beginning of this video, is the phenomenon of newbies getting on comment sections, arguing over minutia, like minutia. Oh, what macros should I use? Should I do more carbs, less carbs? Should I do keto? Should I do this? Should I do that? Arguing over minutia when they haven't even put in the time and the energy to make those initial newbie gains. It's a really common thing. There's a lot of 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds who got a lot of time on their hands and are looking to make changes in their body. They want to make some muscle gains. They want to get bigger. They want to look better. and they want everything now. On the internet, we can just point and click. Point, click, satisfaction. Everybody's dopamine's all tied into their computer, their email. It's instant messenger. Everybody can point, click, and get instant changes in front of their eyes. You can't do that with your body. Your body is not just point, click, bzz, bzz, shoulder grow, bzz, bzz, shoulder. That doesn't work that way, unfortunately. It takes time and it takes energy. So a lot of people get frustrated when they realize that after like 4, 5, 6 months of training, they don't look like the dude that first inspired them to start training. Why don't I look like Jeff said Seed or whatever? I've been training for 6 or 7 months. All right, first you gotta realize that a lot of these models that you've seen are picking very specific angles to make themselves appear in a certain way. It's about tricks of light. The camera's got to be at a specific angle to make a person look big, make them look small, to make them flattering. And yeah, first of all, there's a lot of illusion going on. Second of all, there's another layer to it where a lot of people are using steroids to get these gains. Now, that's not to say that that guy that I mentioned before, that fitness model guy, Jeff Seed or whatever the heck his name is on steroids, or that looking like him is unobtainable without steroids. Looking like that is very obtainable naturally, but it will take you years and years and years of training. Years. The people need to realize that it takes time. I mean, I can't say it enough. It takes time to put on quality muscle mass, to build strength, and to build muscle on your frame. It takes a lot of time. It takes dedication. It also takes dedication to your training as well as your diet. Your diet's got to be on point if you want to stay lean. So expecting instant results is not going to get anybody anywhere. We got to be patient. We got to realize that it takes time to put on quality muscle. Also, don't get on the internet and start complaining and making up excuses for why your gains aren't as good. A lot of people that make comments that say stuff like, I mean, because I utilize a keto diet, right? So I see people every once in a while pop up in my like news feed or whatever in the comments section, my videos, and they'll talk about, oh, well, you probably gained all that muscle when you weren't on keto. Like, I'm doing keto. And this is speaking from, you know, a commenter's point of view. I've been doing keto for like 6 months, just started working out, and I'm not exactly happy with my gains. Therefore, I'm going to make up excuses for why my gains aren't what I want them to be. First of all, I've been doing keto about 2 years now, and a lot of the quality muscle that I put on my frame is in a state of ketosis, using a ketogenic diet. So it is possible to put on muscle in keto. So looking for excuses for us to justify our lack of patience and dedication isn't going to get us anywhere. I mean, I could sit here and look at like somebody else who I believe has a more impressive physique than me or whatever, and make excuses and say, oh, they're probably on steroids, or they're doing this or that, or blah, blah, blah. I can make all kinds of excuses, but what it really comes down to is putting in the time and effort and working with what you got. Not everybody has the genetic capability of putting on a whole lot of muscle. Not everybody has the same frame. Some people got wider shoulders. Some people got more back muscle. Some people got bigger arms naturally. I mean, you got to accept what you got, work with what you got, appreciate what you got, feel blessed with what you have, and anything in life. Move forward and work with what you got. So, first of all, it takes time to put on quality muscle. Maybe that'll be the title of this video. It takes time to change your body. Don't complain 3 months in when you don't have as much muscle as you want. Look, for all the young guys out there who are looking to put on muscle mass, you got to look at it as a long-term goal. You're 16, 17 years old, you got a lot of potential. Your hormones your body's in great shape, or your body's has a great opportunity to put on a significant amount of muscle mass, to grow lean muscle. But gotta put in the time, gotta put in the energy, and it's going to take you years to get where you want to go. All these individuals you see on the internet who you're impressed with, they've worked at this for a long time. They've been doing it for years. And you've got to put in the time. And that doesn't mean every day, all day, you're going to be working out. It takes so much time every day in the gym. It just takes patience. I mean, you can work out 3 days a week for 45 minutes a day. And you'll probably get just as good a gains as somebody who's doing more. If you're resting properly, if you're training properly, if your training is dialed in, if you know what you're doing, and if you learn from somebody who knows what they're doing and who knows how to transmit the knowledge, you don't have to work out every single day for hours and hours. 3 days a week is plenty sufficient. But it's going to take you about 2 years before you're going to look back at your before photos, your after photos, and see, damn, I made significant progress. You know, even the first year, you might not even notice anything because you probably got this image in your mind of what you want to look like, and you're probably not seeing an accurate image of yourself when you look in the mirror anyways. So this is 12 minutes in already. Don't complain on the internet, make excuses for yourself, or project your insecurities and your excuses on other people. It takes time to change your body. It takes time to put on muscle. Put in the time to do it, and put in less time worrying about minutia on the internet. Worrying about rep schemes, percentages, rest intervals in between sets. All this stuff for the first few years, for most individuals, doesn't matter at all. Don't worry about it. Get your diet lined up. Get your diet dialed in. You don't need a lot of carbohydrates to build muscle. Plenty of clients that I'm working with, most of the clients I'm working with are on keto. And these guys are making, the men that I'm working with, the women are making significant progress too, but most women working that aren't looking to put on a bunch of muscle. The dudes I'm working with who've got a lot of body fat to drop, and who've got very little to no training experience in their life, making significant muscle gains in a ketogenic context. Yes, carbs are fine. Carbs are great for putting on muscle, but hey, if you're looking to drop a lot of body fat, keto's a really great way to go, and you can build muscle outside of the context of glycolysis. But anyways, spend less time on the internet arguing over minutia that really doesn't matter to you. Rest intervals, whatever it is, just stick with whatever program you're doing. If you're working with a coach, listen to what they're telling you, do what they're telling you, so you can actually gauge the results that you're getting, whether they're good or bad. And stick with what you're doing. Have patience and realize that it takes time. It doesn't mean it takes hours and hours at the gym every day. You can do it 3 days a week. You can train twice a week. You probably get pretty damn good results. Yes, training more frequently, getting proper rest will probably yield certain individuals better results, but you got to get everything dialed in. You got to have your diet dialed in if you want to get lean. You got to be eating enough if you want to gain weight. That's just the goal. And you've got to be training intelligently and resting up and putting in the time, meaning years of time, to actually put on thick, good muscle on your body to change your physique. So spend less time complaining on the internet and more time doing what you are pursuing. Focus on that goal. Be objective. Don't get all crazy with your body dysmorphia, looking at yourself in the mirror, looking at these fitness models and the photoshopped images of guys that are probably on steroids. Work with what you got. Improve on what you have. Focus on what you're doing. Focus on what you've got. Don't worry about what other people are doing, what other people got. Yeah, it's good to have goals. It's good to look forward. But don't look so far forward that you don't even work on what's going on right now. Work on being here now. Focus on what you can do to make improvements in your daily routine and your habits of diet, of lifestyle, so you can improve your health. Get off the freaking computer. Quit staring at the bright blue light of the screen all day and night, which is going to keep you from sleeping properly, resting properly anyways. Get outside and do it. You know? Go get it. All right, this is Tristan from www.primaledgehealth.com. Check out the website if you want more information, more videos, podcasts. If you want coaching, hit me up the coaching section, www.primaledgehealth.com. I'll see you next time.